Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode of the Trish Lynn Show. Today we are talking all things anchoring into self-care. Obviously, my last solo episode, I kept saying anchoring into self-care when we were anchoring into self-worth. So today we're going to anchor into self-care. And I want to start. I've obviously got some notes to keep us on track here. If you guys jump on, say hi, let me know that you are here. Give us some hearts. It pushes the algorithm and pushes the show out, which obviously reach is super important so that I can continue to show up with the wonderful guests who come on the show and make a difference in the lives of those who need to hear what we are saying. So I want to start with 6 self-care practices that I use, because obviously I'm going to share from my experience and the pieces that I implement and the things that I do. So I'm going to start with that, and then we're going to talk about like really being able to start anchoring them into your daily routine and what that can look like, what that does look like for me, and the pieces that I do. So number 1 is meditation, physical activity, healthy eating, sleeping, spending time outside, and last for me, and like this is a literal non-negotiable, I don't care where I am or what I'm doing, a face care routine in the morning and at night is a non-negotiable, is done every single day for me. If I am going away camping, I will find a way to boil water, and I have my face cloth, and I don't care if it's in a bowl, I wash my face. Like, it's the one thing that I will not go without. So it's being able to really start self-care routines that work for you. What is something that you can make sure are non-negotiables? Sleep. We all have to sleep. It's, are we getting enough sleep? Are we getting a quality sleep? Looking into these pieces, right? But you want to start small and build up your self-care routines. So simple pieces like meditation. If you only have 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes more than not doing it at all, right? There are so many meditations that you can find on YouTube. I have quite a few. There is one that I love. If you are new into meditation and have a hard time quieting your mind, I will actually share the link. I'll share it in the show notes because it's one that just helps you focus on what it is they are saying. So you get out of your head in a way because you're not thinking your normal thoughts, right? And it's 10 minutes. There's a short version of it, and that's the one I'll share here. It's 10 minutes. It gets you just out of your daily thoughts and the things that are constantly going through your head, which is a really good one to start with. I personally loved it. Wow, Gabby Bernstein is the one who introduced me to that. So I will share that in the notes. But it's being able to do things gradually, but start implementing them for the time that you have. So meditation, if you don't have long, what's something you could do? And I'm not going to say this to be mean, but if you have time to sit and watch Netflix or anything on TV, you have time to sit and meditate for 10 minutes. Just putting that out there. Physical activity is something I try and implement, but it does not happen every single day. Sometimes I just don't have the energy to do it. And, that's a part of what I get to at the end here is being compassionate for yourself. I say that a lot, especially in these solo episodes when we are touching on some heavier pieces, but really being compassionate for yourself and what you're feeling. A big part of self-care to me is being able to tap into my body, getting out of my head, tapping into my body, and what am I needing? And then looking at my day from that perspective. What am I needing? Am I tired? Well, then maybe I need to go to bed a little bit earlier. Is my mind all over the place? Maybe I need to sit and meditate and stop worrying about things that are beyond my control. If I don't have the energy to work out, I'm not going to get on myself for it. I'm going to leave it for the next day. one of the big pieces that I have here that I do a lot, and I haven't written down because I don't even realize I do it, but getting outside, just going out into the backyard and grounding. So we can implement, micro moments throughout the day of something that, even if you are working a full-time job right now, you have a lunch break. Get outside. Anchor into the ground and just let yourself calm. Barefoot is best, but I understand that that's not possible for everyone all the time. But for me, little moments in between being here on screen or working on my computer, I will just go let the dog outside, and I will go outside with her, and I will plant my feet in the grass and just take a few breaths. Breath work is another form of self-care that I do implement a lot. And again, I don't even have written down because there's so many pieces that I implement throughout my day that I don't even realize I'm implementing anymore because it's just become a standard practice for me. So as we go, I'll share. I don't know if you guys could see that, but I could. I'll share a little bit more that comes through as we go on. But it's being able to start small and build up. Add in those micro moments and just really take that time, even if it's something as breathing while you have a coffee. Making your coffee and just sitting there for that moment of breathing in, breathing out, and, maybe just saying something you're grateful for. Helps shift the energy, right? So many things, so many different little things that you can do and implement throughout the day that you don't even consciously think about because we are on autopilot 90% of the time, 99% of the time. Our brains are wired, it's a chemical response to move throughout the day. You have to be consciously aware of the new habits that you are creating so that you can implement those new habits. And that's the first step. Little things that we are already doing can implement some self-care routine. Something that is so tiny and micro, but can help change your energy and shift your energy so much throughout the day that you just do it. You start doing it. So obviously we have to create a routine. A big piece for that, morning and evening, my face care routine is non-negotiable, like I already said. But it's deciding what works for you and what gets to work for you. So if that means on your lunch break, you implement something small. I have a friend who runs on her lunch break. She doesn't always get to go out before the morning or before work, and she doesn't get to go out after work with her son in sports, so she runs on her lunch break. Running is a part of her self-care routine. So we can all implement pieces that are different for us. If running is something that's important to you, where can you fit it in? I used to run. I cannot run anymore. And that's been hard. That's been hard on its own. So it's been finding other practices for me that I can do that is not running, because obviously if I run, I don't walk for a long time. So it's finding what works for you and what feels good for you, but then keeping it consistent. It's building that habit, building that routine. So if that's something as simple as, for me, I start my day with a coffee, 2 coffees if we want to be exact. And that first coffee, I check up on my messages, see what I've missed and catch up. The second coffee, I sit and I snuggle with the kids. Usually just Emma now because the other 2 are too old, but I take that time to spend with them before we get started for the day. And just appreciate having those moments that I get to spend with them. And if I don't have them, I do sit and appreciate other things. Sitting in gratitude, like that's for me a part of my self-care routine. And it's something that has actually not changed. I started that probably 10 years ago now. And it is something I would probably go through withdrawals if I stopped drinking coffee in the morning. Because that has been 10 years straight of 2 coffees in the morning. but it's something I love. Another thing you can do to help keep you on this track of staying or creating the routine is setting reminders. Set reminders in your phone if you have to show up that, let's take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to be mindful, to step into gratitude. I believe I've shared this before. If I haven't, I'm going to share it again anyways. I don't anymore, but I used to have reminders 3 or 4 times a day just of affirmations that would pop up on my phone, and I would take that moment to put my hand on my heart, breathe, and repeat that affirmation. And this went on every day. They were set up to come at certain times every day, and I would take that moment. We don't have to overcomplicate it. It gets to be simple, and it gets to be as simple as we make it, and it could be the easiest routine to start. Like, it could be the simplest thing as, taking 5 breaths in the morning before you get out of bed. The whole point is that we get to start creating a self-care routine that works for us. You can also do visual reminders, post things around the house or in your workspace, whatever works for you. Journaling, I do journal as well. See, you guys, this is why I have notes, because there's pieces that I just don't even recognize that I do anymore. But so many things. And then, pairing it with everyday things that you do, like drinking coffee. See, I don't know why I have notes, because I just went off script anyways, and there's no script, but you know what I mean. I just went fucking way ahead of what I was doing. Pairing with everyday tasks, and then stacking those habits and adding in, new self-care practices as you go, building as you go. If there's different pieces that you want to bring in, if you want to join a yoga class, if you want to start joining, when I move, there's a Zumba class that's really close to me. I haven't even shared that yet. I'm moving. So when I move, there's a Zumba class that's really close to me. And I only saw it the other day. I'm like, I'm going to figure out when they are, because I'm going to start going at least once a week. Just for fun. As an entrepreneur, I am here. I am in my office, right now my bedroom. My new house, I do have an office, which is pretty cool too. But I'm here all of the time. And I've noticed that when I don't have the kids, I don't leave the house. So for me, this is going to be a way to, one, get out of the house, get in another way of moving my body, and meet new people and actually have some fun. I love what I do, and I love being a hermit, but I also want to be able to expand in what I do and being able to get out of the house. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Don't worry. If you guys follow me over on my other page, I will be bringing you behind the scenes. So if you are not following the Trish Lynn, that's where I share a lot of the stories and the behind the scenes things. Come over there and give me a follow, and it'll be good. So, but you want to prioritize what makes you feel good. And I'm sharing my experience. I'm sharing the things that I do. What feels good to you? What is a self-care practice that feels good to you? And how can you prioritize that? Listen to your body. Pay attention to what you're needing that day. Pay attention to where you're at. So many times we are all up in our head and in the headspace that we don't actually tap into our bodies and what we're needing. And we need to be tapping into our bodies and paying attention to, what do I need today? This is going to go a little off topic, but a lot of the times we say yes to things that, okay, maybe in that moment yeah, it's a yes, I'll go do this. But then that day comes and you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't want to do, like, you dread it. Don't feel guilty for saying no. We can often feel guilty for saying no, but if this isn't something that's going to nourish us and rejuvenate us and make us feel good, then we're saying yes and going out of obligation, and we're not going to be showing up in the best energy. Right? I know my mom's going to see this, but it's okay. I had a family thing a couple weeks ago, and could I have gone? Yeah. It was a lot of driving, and I didn't feel like doing all of that driving because I also had to go pick my son up from work. So I didn't go. Do I feel bad for not going? Yes. But do I have compassion for myself and the fact that I'm the one that was going to be doing all of the driving and I was not up for it? Yeah. It can feel a little selfish and you can feel guilty, but at the same time, you have to look out for how you are feeling. And if you are energetically drained, you are doing a disservice to everyone around you. Not just your clients, not just, your kids, everyone that you come in contact with now. You are not showing up as the best you. Therefore, it's a disservice to them because now you're not showing up how you want to show up because you're drained from not actually listening to the things that you wanted to do. So don't feel guilty. That's one of my bullet points here too. Not feeling the guilt. Adapting to what you need. So really checking in with yourself of what you need today. And celebrating. If you accomplish something for 5 days in a row, celebrate yourself because this is a new routine. This is a new piece that you are implementing. And hey, you just did it. So actually, in the comments, I want you guys to drop a new self-care routine that you want to implement if you are not implementing anything right now, or if you want to build on what it is that you are currently doing. Let me know in the comments what that is, and then implement it for 5 days and come back and celebrate in the thread because I would love to celebrate with you. And I've already scrolled through all my notes, which is awesome. So yeah, implement the self-care routines that you need. Check in with yourself and how you are feeling. Don't feel guilty. If you miss a day, oh well. But continue to show up. Don't say, oh, I missed a day, I'm done. It's about building that routine and continuing to show up, continuing to keep going, and doing it in a way that works for you without the guilt. So definitely make sure you share that here in the comments and then come back and share with us the implementation because we are here to support you. I'm here to support you. And I would love to be able to do that openly here on the platform. So I hope you guys found this useful and come back and share. I hope you guys have a great Monday and we will see you on Wednesday's episode.